get a chance, turn my light. If you can get the lights.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Andre, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good as long as the stream works with my audio.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because I can't hear what you said, bro. And we have a special.
I might have to change hands.
You might. Okay, hey, do what you got to do, man. And tonight we have a special guest with us, TJ the Gamer. How are you, man?
Hey, everybody, what's up? How you doing? How you doing?
So, if you notice the title of the episode, we called it the musical. No, I'm not singing.
Oh, you're not gonna sing for me, man?
No, I'm not. So, so that being said, I wanted to have a little bit of break from the usual comedic stylings of making fun of Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer and Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. I just want to get away from that for a little bit, for a change. You know, as much as the comedy be flowing and we really don't have to write the jokes just pretty much tell themselves. It's nice to get away from that every now and then. And I brought TJ on because TJ, if you haven't had a chance to, I put a link to his YouTube channel in the description. So please go over there, show some love. The man makes fire music.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So check him out. And that's check all of out. Check him out.
Go do it. Just go do it.
Yeah. So we wanted to talk about music because a lot of times when you play a game, especially like with me, one of the things that I do notice is the music. We don't really talk about it that much, but we do notice the music. So I just wanted to spend the night just talking about, favorite soundtracks, favorite composers, video game composers, who you're going to currently sample from and hopefully not get copyright strict from. And
exactly.
Things
which means everybody but Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right, actually.
And that's if you're lucky. So, because I know a friend of mine tried to sample something from Final Fantasy, and Sony got him. So, Sony don't play by that.
It is tricky. There's a trick to it, but it is tricky.
Yeah. So, TJ, how about you introduce yourself to everybody, and while I, link to your channel right quick.
Oh, well, hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy TJ. And I am what I like to call a musical gamer. Basically, I make video game remixes. Is one of the main things I do, where I take classic video games and make remixes of them. I also make my own original music, where I do basically R&B and hip hop type songs, but I put a gamer twist on them. So, like one of my most popular songs is actually called Final Fantasy, where it's a love song, but I'm using Final Fantasy references throughout the song. So, that's pretty much what I do. I have a group of other artists that I work with, and we put together this music, and we basically make music for gamers.
As a matter of fact, there's one with our frequent panelist, Shadow Fox.
Yes, my guy.
So, and Jack would have been here tonight, but he has some taking care of some sick kids and a sick self, so he couldn't join us tonight. But you have worked with him as well. So,
oh my boy, okay, yeah.
So he would have
actually have another collabo coming out pretty soon.
Oh, cool! Hey, cool. But here is his channel, so you guys get to see. This is the channel, what it looks like. Master Sword Music. 446 subscribers. Let's get that number up. And also, are you on Spotify and all those other places too?
Yes, you can find all my music on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere music is streamed. Just look up TJ the Gamer, and you will see all of my music on your favorite music streaming platform.
Cool. So now you know where to go. Let's make sure we show some love, people. Let's make sure we show some love. So let's get into the first thing. So, all right, I'm just gonna throw out a company, and you tell me what you think about how they work their soundtrack. That work?
All right, sounds good. Sounds like fun. Let's do it.
All right, let's see. I'll go with something easy. Square Enix.
Yeah, it's funny that you would pick them too, because they are actually my favorite.
Okay.
When it comes to video game music, like Square has had some of the best composers, and like they are responsible for actually my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. which for me is Chrono Trigger. I am a huge fan of the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, and like the work that was done on that soundtrack, like every song on that soundtrack is an absolute banger, and like it's literally one of my favorite games to play when it comes to music because they did such an excellent job. You got you guys like Nobu who actually did a lot of the work on Chrono Trigger, who did some excellent work. You got Yoko, is another Square Enix composer. Let's see, who's it? Hatoshi, I want to say it is another. Like they just some of the best composers that I've ever heard have come out of Square Enix. So like to pull them out the bag, like the Final Fantasy series, well known for its music. Most of their RPGs just have incredible soundtracks anyway. So it's just Square Enix are some of the kings when it comes to video game music. It's some of my favorite to work with.
Okay, so good. I'm glad you brought up Square Enix. So have you heard the Live Alive soundtrack? That's one of Yoko's.
Oh yes, yes, so good.
Now that because I've been trying to finish that, but my ADD be taking over. So every time somebody drops something new, I wind up playing it, and I got to go back to it. But I think that their boss fight music, Megalomania, somebody got to sample that. Just pay Sony. Somebody got to sample that.
Yeah,
somebody got to sample that. So
yeah, Megalomania is quite. I've actually done a remix of that over on my channel, and it's oh my god, it's
like I be wanting the fight to go on because I'm like, dude, this beat is bumping.
Yeah, it really is. It's ridiculous. Like, and like, because what I do is when I go to like do a remix of a soundtrack, I'll pull up the sheet music for it. And when I pulled up the sheet music for Megalomania, I was just like, okay, this might take a while. Because like the complexity of the music in that one is ridiculous. Like what they managed to pull off with that is incredible. So like, yeah,
and you don't get tired of it. It's not one of those songs you don't get tired of. Another one that you don't get tired of, except I do like the Advent Children version of this track, opposed to the original. Is you know what it is? One Winged Angel.
Oh yeah, you can never go wrong with One Winged Angel.
Especially when you watch the Cloud get towed up for damn 6 minutes.
My goodness,
like brakes off. How you gonna get beat for 6 minutes? I'm like, I'm sitting here counting. I'm just sitting here counting like, okay, Cloud, it's called blocking and dodging, like something like that. Please, dude, you're making me look bad. So that movie, when they started playing it, you like, Cloud, this ain't gonna end well for you, is it?
Nah, not at all.
Sephiroth skewered him like a pig.
And with that music playing in the background, like soon as you hear that song come on, you already know something bad is about to go down.
Like, yep, this is boss music. This is what boss music sounds like. Like, how the villain gonna have his own choir singing?
Oh yeah, it's like I brought my own choir, I brought my own orchestra with me. We're gonna make this boss fight lit. Like, let's go. Just
understand, as soon as you see the choir in their church robes, you about to catch these hands.
Yeah, it's about to be a problem up in here.
So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I also like, even though I despise this game because I didn't like how they went from open world ish to linear. Final Fantasy 15 has one of my favorite boss fight soundtracks in it, and that's the one where old girl dies. It's called Aqua something. It's when you fight Leviathan.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
That one. Now the rest of them fights in there when you're trying to fight the Odins and Ifrits and all that, them tracks up. That one, that one is Leviathan.
Yeah, that one's a good one. And like I said, Final Fantasy is usually, and that's why 15 kind of disappointed me as well. Because like Final Fantasy is usually like on point when it comes to soundtracks, and that one wasn't as strong as some of the others. Like there's a couple of tracks you can pick and choose out of that one, but like I'm used to when I play a Final Fantasy game that every track is just hitting.
It's usually like that. If there's one thing they get right, is usually these sounds. You may not like the game,
but the music is usually on point.
Yeah, the music is very on point. So with that being said, there's another, because I've been trying out I tried out the demo. If you go to my Twitter, you see some of the clips I've been putting up. Octopath Traveler 2.
Oh my god! I actually just got finished playing that demo myself not too long ago, and they did it again with that. Well, like the first Octopath Traveler, Like, soon as I heard that soundtrack, I was like, I'm all in. I'm all in. And the second one, they're pretty much just giving us more. Just like
Yeah,
it's Octopath Traveler, but more,
yeah.
and even more incredible music. Like,
I really need them to release the soundtrack so I can buy it or stream it. Either one will
exactly,
do.
exactly. Like, I will buy that. Like, let me get that.
Yeah, especially Octopath Traveler 2, and Octopath. I'll get both of them if they release them. But
Oh yeah,
for some reason, over in the States, they pretend like people don't like music.
which is the crazy thing, which is kind of part of like why I do what I do, honestly. Because like I feel like video game music doesn't really get the respect it really deserves. Like,
I was just about to say that.
yeah, like the work that goes into video game music is like it's just as much and even more so than any other music. Like, they really have to compose these tracks to, first of all, be able to fit, especially if you talk about retro. Like I said, we were talking about some of the old Final Fantasy games and like Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. The instrumentation and like the quality of music they were able to pull off on just like a cartridge with limited space and limited memory, like they were able to do incredible things. Like, they worked that sound chip on those little cartridges. And like I feel like it doesn't really get the respect it deserves, because like video game music is like some of the best music I've ever heard. Like, some of my fondest memories come from just video games. Like, when you hear certain songs, they trigger certain memories in you. They can trigger certain emotions in you. Like, every time when I play a Final Fantasy game and I hear da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da, you like, oh yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, that's that victory music right there. I know it's going like video game music can really trigger you like that. Like, those iconic moments that stay with you forever. Like, I love in the like the Final Fantasy VII remake how like they didn't use that theme, but they had one of the characters in the background. If you pay attention, he was humming it. I think it was Barrett. Barrett would be in the background. Da, 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 da. You're like, oh snap! Like, they did the thing. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's so dope.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I did like how they did that. I will give Square Enix props for all the bad decision making bad business decisions they be making. I do like the fact that they put the work in, especially on the music side. You can tell they put the work in.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So next one up, Rareware.
Rareware, iconic. Like I said, when you talk about iconic music, like the first thing my mind went to when you said Rare was Banjo Kazooie. The thing that popped into my head, and then like all the music in that game was freaking ridiculous. Like, I love Banjo Kazooie. It's one of my favorite platformers from that era, and like they knocked it out the park with that one. Like, the Treasure Trove Cove is probably one of my favorite tracks. I did a remix of that one a while back, and oh my goodness, like I absolutely love that. So Banjo Kazooie was the first thing that popped into my head with that. But then of course you got, even though I didn't enjoy the game that much, it actually had really good music. Was a Donkey Kong Country 64.
Oh yeah.
They had some banging tracks on that. Of course, the infamous the that shall not be named.
Yeah.
That was a thing. I don't know.
I mean, it was funny at the time, but now it's just like,
now you're like, oh god,
like, we won't do that ever again.
Like, please don't ever do that ever again. But at the time, I mean, it was absolutely incredible. So it's like,
and plus he had that cartoon out at the time, so it was kind of like, I get what they were trying to do.
Yeah, they were trying to do the tie-in thing, but I was like, oh god.
Yeah. You hear that now? You like, no. So all right. So let me throw this out to you. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yes. Really, really good music. Like, the thing with the music of that game is that it fit very well with the game. Like, it did a lot of things. Like, when you're in certain areas, like the feel of the music would fit the area that you're in or what you're dealing with at that time. So like, I really love what they did with that game.
Yeah, that one and the whole Great and Mighty Pooh, that's one love. Just one love for that one. All right, so, Perfect Dark. That's another one that they.
Oh,
Grant Kirkhope was on his thing in the late 90s, early 2000s.
For sure. Like that's what I'm saying. That whole era. That's what I'm saying. The rare era in general. I call that the golden era of rare or whatever. Like that era, they were just hitting on all cylinders. Like just not even with just video game music, just with the games in general. Like they were just hitting on all everything they were dropping was a hit, and including their music. Like everything they were hitting was just one after another, one after another. Like every game, it's like they couldn't lose at that time. Like
no, they couldn't. Even Star Fox Adventures on Dinosaur Planet had some banging tracks on it.
Yeah,
like
for sure. Like oh my goodness, like just the opening theme was crazy. Like oh my goodness, like that era of rare is just
Stanford Brothers. The Stanford Brothers, they had the thing going. So I got to go to this company, just because they may have one of gaming's best platformers that was made into an anime on Netflix. That is awesome, but the company itself is kind of crazy. Konami.
Okay. So
Castlevania.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Like this, when it comes to Konami and video game music, the first thing that anybody should ever say is Castlevania.
That Simon Belmont theme, first thing that should come into your mind. First thing.
The Bloody Tears.
Bloody Tears. I'm about to say Bloody Tears.
Bloody Tears is the next one. Wicked Child.
Wicked Child. All of which I've like I'm saying, like if you look at my channel, you'll be like, there's a lot of Castlevania stuff on there. Like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's the name of Ali Carr's theme? Because I don't remember the exact name of his theme.
I can't remember thinking his name. I can't think of the name of that one either.
It's like they never really say the name of his theme, but you know his theme when you hear it.
Yeah. Like with most of the tracks, they don't really tell you the name of them. Like you just know them by. Let me look up this song and see what it's called, kind of thing. But like Bloody Tears is like one of the first remixes I ever did. Wicked Child is because I also do like drum-alongs where I'll play certain video game music and just drum over it. I did that with Wicked Child.
I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, like Castlevania music is one of the big ones. Like I put them up there with Square Enix when it comes to music. Like they really were doing that thing when it came to music. Even though I'm not even a fan of all of their games, music-wise, Konami actually is like really, really dope.
Yeah, and I think like most gamers will remember Castlevania simply because of Bloody Tears and Wicked Child.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I remember there was like this soprano singer on YouTube. I can't remember her name. She did a cover of Bloody Tears. There was like people have been like doing Bloody Tears forever.
That's what I'm saying. Type in Bloody Tear remix into YouTube and
want to know something funny? There was somebody who did a remix of Bloody Tears and didn't know what game it was from.
I mean,
I found it was years ago. I found a person on YouTube who had done a remix to this song, and I was like, that's from Castlevania. I'm like, I don't know. I don't play video games. I was like, okay.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like that. So, and then when you have like Castlevania on Netflix, every season they remix Bloody Tears, and it was a different mix of Bloody Tears.
Because
from
they
season
know.
1 to season 2 to season 3 to season 4, it was a different remix of Bloody Tears, and I'm like, I like how y'all did that.
Because they know,
they try to show progression of the song with the intensity of the moment.
Yeah.
And they know that's one of the most iconic songs from this series. Like, if nothing else, we did that right. If we do nothing else right, we put Bloody Tears in there. So that's a win right there.
Yeah.
That does make me want them to do a season for Simon, even though I know they're not going there right now.
Oh my god!
I want them to play his theme when he gets to the main foyer in the castle.
Oh yeah,
like how it always does at the end of the game. That level right before
Killer, I think it's called.
His is Vampire Killer.
That's
Vampire Killer.
Killer. Vampire Killer is actually the song that Maria ended up with in Symphony of the Night.
Yes.
That's a different
song. What was his then? Because it sounded just like that.
Simon's song is literally called Simon's Theme. It's never called anything else.
Oh, okay.
Because it sounded a lot like that. It sounds
let me pull it up real quick and hit y'all with a boot of nostalgia for this one.
All right, why are you doing that? But yeah, because and I'll be honest with you guys, as much as I like the Netflix Castlevania, Simon is my favorite Belmont. and I don't know why they skipping Simon to go straight to Richter.
They saving the best for last. I'm betting you.
I mean, because
if they did that, that would actually be really dope.
Yeah,
if they all right, we're going to end the series by going back to the beginning, that would be crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, they left out Grant, so Team Simon up with Grant. If you left Grant out of stuff with Trevor when he was supposed to be there, not Alucard, give Simon Grant.
Yeah, that is a little weird. But no. Trevor was there. Alucard was there with Trevor, but Grant also was. But Alucard didn't have as much involvement with Trevor.
He wasn't in it though, wasn't he? Like him and Richter was the.
No, he was there with Trevor, and then he was more so there with Richter than he was with Trevor, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
the
but hold on, let me pull up
lore, man. I'm trying to tell you, that's a rabbit hole by itself.
Now here's my favorite version of Simon's theme, the one from Super Castlevania 4. You hear this and you don't get into the moment, there's something wrong with you. So let me stop there before YouTube copyright.
Yeah.
You get 5 seconds. You get 5 seconds. That's the trick. You get 5 seconds.
Now I will say this: I did like what because if you play Smash Brothers, and you have to search for it a little bit because Smash Bros. got an ungodly amount of music in it. They did a remix to Simon's theme in it.
Oh yeah,
they did do a remix to it, and it's actually not bad. It's actually really not bad. So I will say yeah. So let's see, we hit Konami.
But I'm about to say,
do Capcom?
Capcom.
I got a few soundtracks from Capcom I could talk about.
All right, let's go Capcom next.
First thing that comes to my head when I think of Capcom, and most people go and laugh at me for this one, but I can't help it. It's iconic to me. I'm gonna take you for a ride.
What are you talking about? So many people are hooked onto that. I mean,
it's in everybody's workout playlist. I don't know why they be hating.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2's whole theme is just a series of workout themes.
Yeah, you put that on to go to the gym. And you can get it in, for real. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was definitely like the workout album.
Yeah, it is. That and, I would say that, and if you play Project Justice.
Yes.
Project
Justice is dope.
And Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah, I get you that.
Any of the Versus series, honestly. Yeah. The Versus series in general just had banging music. Somebody already said in the chat, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Dope. Yeah, I just saw that in the chat. Somebody said that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Capcom does have the bangers. I do like the Project Justice stuff because theirs range from silly to serious to flat out comedic to why is this song here? to they get the whole range. So Project Justice is like the craziest one. Now Street Fighter, because
Street Fighter has more hit than miss, but it's been a little bit miss lately.
But Street Fighter has some of the most iconic themes of gaming. Period. Like Gal's theme, will always be like
that theme. The theme that goes with anything in life.
Like
you just be walking. You can put a video on of a dude just walking down the street and play that theme, and somehow it's epic. And all he doing is walking.
Yeah.
And you know what? Somebody in the chat is reading my mind because I was just about to say this. But no, Mega Man X, the Mega Man series. Even the original Mega Man, Mega Man 2, Wily's theme for Mega Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Agreed. No questions asked. Agreed.
Banger. Like that's on my gaming video. That's on my gaming song playlist like for all eternity. Wily's theme for Mega Man 2 is just.
Now, that's interesting. That's interesting because I like most of the soundtracks in the Mega Man series, but I think they kind of fell off toward the end of like right when they started doing like the 3D stuff.
Yeah, that's very true. I mostly, like I said, the original Mega Man series. I say the first 3 Mega Man X games. Mm-hmm. Kind of after about 4 and 5, they kind of started, and then they just kind of just went off the rails a little bit.
They're decent after the first I'd say the first two are the better ones.
Yeah.
Third one fell off a little bit. 4 was okay.
And
5
that's what I'm
and
saying.
6
Like
were
after 3, they kind
also
of just
okay. 5 and 6, 4, 5, and 6 were okay because the music fit the theme of the stages, and if you just paid attention to the stage theme, you could get into it.
exactly. Oh, somebody brought up
Seven,
Strider. Somebody did bring up Strider, and
yeah.
like the Strider remake that came out a couple years ago.
Okay,
Dope.
that one was dope. The Strider remake
Yeah.
was dope. I gotta give him that.
The music in that
dope.
game was actually really good. It was really good.
Honestly, every Strider game has a good soundtrack. I don't think there's one with a bad soundtrack. There's just ones that aren't as good.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Okay, so let's go on and knock out Ubisoft.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's about it.
You want to know what I was gonna go with? Hey, y'all probably gonna laugh at me. Mario versus Rabbids.
You know what though?
I mean,
Mario versus Rabbids, the first game,
Yeah.
the music in that game is actually bumping.
It's actually.
I'm not even. That's a sleeper hit right there. People sleep. The first Mario Rabbids, the second one, but that first one, that one was hitting. The music in that game is actually hitting.
They actually have that soundtrack on streaming. If you are using any kind of streamer like Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, or anything like that, you can actually get stream the first Mario vs. Rabbids soundtrack. It's actually a very good soundtrack, especially the Mario diss track.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mario diss track is epic. I'm like, God dang,
so good, so
God
good.
dang, they're wilding on Mario.
But I will give it up to Ubisoft though. They had, like I said, Assassin's Creed. Like one of my favorite Assassin's Creed game is Black Flag. And one of the dopest things they did with music wise in that game is like they really made you feel like you were in the pirate era. Like when you get on that ship and them dudes start singing them sea shanties, you're just like, whoa, like, yeah, I'm in the pirate age. I'm a pirate. Let's do this. Like, let's go.
And
like
some of the ship battles background music was on point too.
Yes. Like when new, oh my goodness. Like Assassin's Creed is like super dope.
Yeah. Now I have to bring up Rayman's Legends. You are right, J2. Rayman Legends.
Yes, now, Rayman.
Here's the thing about Rayman Legends that I liked. Well, the one that came out on Wii U and all those other ones. When they did the music stages, they did remixes like Eye of the Tiger. I forgot what the one they did in the castle was. Like those little ones actually worked. And they were so good. But like I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, dude, this game has some banging music, but I don't really love the game all that much, but I like the music.
The music is good. Yeah. The music is good though.
Well, there is one Ubisoft game that does have some pretty decent music for what it's created for. Mm-hmm. And I completely forgot about it because it's a third party property, and that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yeah. That's actually a good pickup. That was a good call. I totally forgot that was Ubisoft. I totally forgot that was them though. That's what it is.
I thought about it, then I was like, hold on, that damn logo pops up in 8-bit in that game.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right. That was Ubisoft. So I mean, gotta give it to them. That was a banging soundtrack.
And this one is just one I just like just because it was really atmospheric and like it really went to get Child of Light.
Yes.
Child of Light's soundtrack is highly underrated.
Child of Light actually is really good. You are right about that. Like that one is.
I will never understand why they never made that sequel.
Yeah.
I will never understand it. I'm like, dude, you had.
Good. We talking about the same company that's just getting around to making a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil.
No, they haven't made. We don't even know if they made it yet. So
true.
I didn't say made. I said getting around to making it.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah,
they're considering it.
How can we turn this into a live game? How?
Just don't. Just don't.
Like,
don't
please
at all.
Don't do that. Please, God, don't do that. But yeah,
my guy Wilton in the chat brought up Bayonetta. Which I'm like, it's one of my favorites.
To him, people. We get to him.
We get to him. Okay,
everybody, calm down. Don't worry. You have one of the biggest Nintendo fanboys in the world with y'all today. Okay, don't worry about it. We're gonna take it there. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Trust me, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So I was trying to think of how I want to do this next one. I think I might just do it company wide. So let's do Sega, then we'll go Nintendo. How about that? Did that help everybody? Chat?
Well, before we jump into Sega, because there was one I wanted to mention. There's a couple I wanted to mention for Capcom just for safekeeping. Obviously, I wanted to mention Resident Evil 2 because of how atmospheric all the music is.
Resident Evil 2 definitely has some of the best music in the series, honestly.
And I mean the classic Resident Evil 2, not the remake.
Yeah,
classic. The classic.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 has. And actually, it's funny that you brought up Resident Evil because my partner is like the biggest Resident Evil fan there is, so I know she'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Talk about Resident Evil music.
And then obviously Devil May Cry series. Not all of them are that great. I leave two off. I'm talking about as far as the music. I leave 2 off the table on that one.
Oh yeah, 2. No.
2 Agreed. Off the table on that. But every other game seems to have a decent soundtrack.
Well, let me put it like this: Clover Studios, aka Platinum Studios, had some. They do. They're. I don't know who does the soundtrack for them, who does the composing for them, but from Beautiful Joe to
that was another one I was going to mention.
To Bayonetta, to Wonderful 101, to Anarchy Reigns, to Metal Gear Revengeance. They just do it up.
Metal Gear Revengeance was crazy.
Yeah. So Platinum, especially with Okami, as well as Okami. Thank y'all for bringing that up. Okami, as well as like I said, like the Beautiful Joe stuff is just like that is workout music.
Once again, yeah, the Beautiful Joe is definitely that hype music, man. Like,
throw your sweatband on and get in the gym.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's get it. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the stuff that Platinum does is like. They're another one that, like, I guess because they're so consistent with it that people kind of overlook it a little bit. Because I was getting mad last year during the Game Awards. I'm like, how the hell is Bayonetta not in the best music?
Yeah, Platinum is definitely they're definitely heavy hitters when it comes to game music for real.
Well, we also know that that's more a popularity thing than actual quality.
Yeah, because we know who run it.
I mean, listen. For as good a game as Control actually is, nobody knew what it was when it won those awards.
It didn't. Nobody did.
I've definitely seen it, but like, if I mentioned that game to a bunch of other people, like,
man, what the hell are you talking about? Control.
What is that?
You talking about that slave move on Hulu?
Not that one.
Not that. Yeah, so that one. So let's talk a little bit about Sega because Sega breaks my heart sometimes.
Sometimes.
But one thing that Sega does not break my heart on is music.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, one of the first ones that come to my head is not even one that most people probably even know, but one of my favorite Sega Genesis platform is a game called Ristar.
Oh, yeah.
The music in that game is so good. It is so good.
That game actually has a pretty good soundtrack to it.
Oh, my goodness.
I wasn't even thinking about that one.
Oh, my. It's one of my, childhood video games that I played from Sega Genesis. Ristar was just my game. And, most people have no clue what I'm even talking about. So, kudos for knowing what I'm talking about.
Listen, if you don't know and you have the Sega Classics collection, it's on there.
Yeah. It is?
Yes, it's on there.
It is on the Sega Classics collection. Streets of Rage.
All of Streets of Rage.
All of Streets of Rage has a good soundtrack. But I'm going to say this, and people can hate me for it. Streets of Rage 3 was the weakest soundtrack.
Oh, for sure. Sure. I actually agree with you, though. I agree with you. And Streets of Rage 2 was the best.
Yeah. 2 is the best. 3 is the weakest. And 1 and 4, they kind of balance each other out.
Facts. And then, of course, I gotta give it up, even though he don't get as much love as he used to get these days. But Sonic music,
Sonic's music has always been good, though. No matter where it is,
even if the games are trash,
the game could be a pile
you can still
garbage.
Put that soundtrack on and rock.
Yeah, look, you be like, I don't want to play Sonic Spinball, but I'll put the soundtrack on with.
Yeah, Sonic Spinball. Oh my god.
Oh man.
So
here's my machine. What?
Here's my thing with Sonic. So Sonic 06 comes out. and everybody knows how broken that game is.
That game is horrible.
But the music
But the
is so
music,
The music is
bumping
banging.
that
the music
you go through every level because the music is banging.
look, like that's where I was like, I don't know how y'all made so. The game is. I'm sorry, that game is beautiful for its time frame.
Yeah.
It has the
broken
best
all
music
half.
that it could have had at the time, but everything else is garbage. Like I'm sorry, man.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah, then of
screwed
course,
that one up.
two people already brought it up, but I always talk about this is Michael Jackson's involvement with Sonic the
Sonic
Hedgehog
3.
3.
Now I
Right.
didn't know about that. I always heard I didn't know that was true.
Yeah.
Until like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know.
actually is a true statement. What happened was like because I actually looked into this a lot. When Sega approached him to do the music, to compose the music for Sonic 3, and he did it. And after they processed the music and put it into the Sega Genesis, he didn't like
how
the
it
way it
sounded.
sounded. He didn't like the way it sounded coming out of the Sega Genesis engine, so he asked them not to credit him in the game. And then after his death, I think it was his lawyer actually came out. It was like, look, everything that the rumors are true. He actually did do the music,
But
but he didn't want to be.
dope.
That's the crazy thing. Like Sonic 3 has probably one of the best soundtracks of the series, but he
The
just
thing
did
is-
not like the way it sounded. So he did not want it to be actually be physically credited for the music. That's why his name isn't on it. But his lawyer came back later and said, yes, he actually did do the music in that game.
Huh. I mean, because I like Sonic 3 soundtrack. I like that soundtrack.
Oh my god. That opening, the first song when you first hit Angel Island.
Like,
Oh my
okay.
goodness.
All right, maybe he heard something. Maybe something was wrong when they.
But they said that he was a super perfectionist.
Okay.
Like even the slight imperfections, he'd just be like, no, it didn't sound the way he wanted it to sound. So
Dang. Well, and that goes back to a couple of things because like I know people don't like this game, but Sonic Forces had a banging soundtrack.
oh, it really did though.
Sonic
Game
Night
is
of the
terrible.
Wind. Yeah, Sonic Night of the Wind. Sonic in the Secret Rings.
Secret Rings, yeah, Black Knight,
Black
Dark
Knight.
Knight, or whatever it was.
Yeah, like the
Games were trash, but
yeah, but the music. Well, I can actually have a soft spot for Black Knight, but but like the music is like even the one with the stupid werehog thing, where like half the game is great, the other half
Unleash.
yeah,
Unleash.
half the game is awesome, and the other half is like
what another Sonic game that had banging music too was the Shadow game.
Shadow. Oh my goodness,
That was an awful, but the music in that game was actually bumping too.
Why did they give him a gun?
Yeah,
Why?
let's give Shadow a gun and cars, man.
Okay, but that one and I'm playing through Sonic Frontiers. I'm enjoying Sonic Frontiers, so I actually like the music in that too.
See, I haven't played Frontiers yet. I need to get on it.
I'm actually liking what they did with that. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I actually like what they did with it. So Sonic's music is like on point. I can't say it's all the games are on point. Like Sonic Adventure 2, that's the last time the game and the music was on point to me.
Yeah,
it was that one. Because
that's true.
Sonic Adventure 2 is probably my favorite Sonic game.
Sonic Adventure 2 is a classic, and the music is classic as well.
Now here's one that most people probably don't like, but I like it because it's atmospheric. The first Shenmue.
Oh yeah,
the first Shenmue game.
Yeah.
Had it just had that atmospheric music to it, and it made like Yokosuka Japan just feel like real. So even though that game plays best on Dreamcast, hands down,
facts.
It's one of those games where I'm like, I like the music, I like how the atmosphere is set up, but I know it's not going to be like up there on everybody's list because it doesn't have that bang after bang after bang after bang. It's not.
But it's good though. Like
Shenmue is more about like you said, about the atmosphere of the story.
And the music does set the tone. So like I feel like they did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Although I did think it needed like 30% more Pat LaBelle from the 80s.
A quick shout out though to I see two of my homies from the Master Sword Music family, Switchbit and Katetsu. What up, guys? Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate you. We're glad to have you.
And I got to call out our boy Sandstorm because I agree with him on this one when he said Sonic R soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
that is an underappreciated. That is a wholeheartedly underappreciated soundtrack. The whole thing. Not one song is bad. Not one set of lyrics is bad, and it tells a whole story if you listen to it.
And that's the one thing I'll give Sonic Games is that they're one of the few companies like that can do songs with actual lyrics that work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times when you start hearing like, even a lot of people are going to hate me for this. Please don't hate me for this, but I love Kingdom Hearts to death. Don't get me wrong. I just sometimes wish they wouldn't sing.
outside of Sanctuary.
Sanctuary is probably the only one I could do Sanctuary.
Yeah.
But there's some of the other ones I'd be like, man, the song is good, but just stop singing.
Yeah, because I prefer just hear the instrumental.
Or
give me the instrumental. The music is good, but when they be singing, I just be like, look,
I like Utada Hikaru. I got a couple of her albums. She is dope. But yeah, some of that.
So their problem is that they should have done two versions, done the instrumental for gameplay and then have the singing for non-gameplay.
Somebody said, when you walk the way, you don't hear me say. Like, oh God.
Yeah, you're gonna hear me say this, click, mute. All right, so you know.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna walk away so I don't have to hear your shit. Thank you, bye.
So of course we're gonna include Atlas. You know, we gotta include Atlas.
All right, so if we're gonna do Atlas, I'm gonna hit everybody with a game that a lot of people don't even know Atlas was involved in, because it's a game I harp on a hell of a lot that Square Enix currently owns the rights to. And that is Ogre Battle 64.
Oh, really?
That is a great soundtrack. Yes, Atlas worked on that. The one for the 64.
Wow.
They worked on that.
Ogre 64?
Ogre Battle 64.
Wow, I did not know that.
Look, if you got a Wii U right now, go download it off the eShop for $10 and play that game and tell me that soundtrack don't bang.
I didn't know that was out. I didn't know that was Atlas.
Yeah, you just dropped the bomb on me.
Atlas and Quest did that one. Atlas and Quest did that one back in.
Definitely just dropped the bomb on me on that one.
The original title owners to Ogre Battle let different teams work on it, but that one was specifically worked on by Atlas.
That's interesting. Okay,
that is very interesting.
All right,
and I'll also go ahead and also drop another one. King of Fighters 13 was worked on by Atlas.
Now,
I knew. I knew. Yeah, that.
Then they had to come in at like the last minute or something like that. It was
they said that they had the game for most of its development. I believe. I think they weren't the first choice though.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, I think another company had done it and they didn't like it, so they ended up going to Atlas and saying like, "Hey, can you fix this?"
Yep.
That's messed up.
Hey, man, look, that's what needs. That's essentially what Nintendo did to Namco when they went back to retro.
Yeah,
they're like, hey. Metroid Prime 4 ain't looking too hot. Can y'all come fix this?
Yeah, man, this ain't working.
In other words, this some bullshit. So
this some bull. But okay, so if we're including Atlas, then of course, Shimigami Tensei Persona.
Yeah, yep.
Any Shimigami Tensei game, any.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just said Shimigami Tensei Persona. Just put them together. Just put it out there. Like, you
wouldn't know something that struck me as funny though, when people would talk about Persona games and wanting mainline Persona games on Nintendo. I was like, they were always on Nintendo. What the fuck y'all think Shimigami Tensei is?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same thing.
I mean,
so like, that's the main game. Persona's the spinoff.
Persona's the spinoff.
Yeah,
did y'all not know that?
Like, you know what I'm learning? A lot of people don't. Like, you hear.
I think that Persona is like its own thing.
Yeah.
No, it's a spin. It's a popular spinoff, but it's a spinoff.
Yeah, because I'm learning this with Metroid Prime because of that remaster that came out. There's a lot of people who swap it down. They were fans and they just not playing Metroid Prime, and they like, I didn't know this game existed. I'm like,
how the hell did you not if you're a Metroid fan?
Yeah, how did you not?
You'd be surprised, man. Like I said, like people who I know people who love the Persona games, but have never touched Shin Megami Tensei.
And they won't.
It's crazy to me.
And they won't, because Shin Megami Tensei will kick your ass like Persona.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Shin Megami.
But they'd be like, what Shin Megami? What's that? What's that?
I mean, some of them didn't start playing until 5 came out.
Yeah.
And 5, 5 was just like that crossover they did, that Tokyo Mirage Sessions with that, because
Mm.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions had some banging music in it, but that game was not for no rookies.
Nah,
Because
and
they did not give a damn
shouldn't
about
be.
your feelings.
no, because Shin Megami Tensei is like one of the toughest RPGs, man. Like,
That's what,
But
that's what I
you
always
know something screwed up, and I noticed it playing a couple of them. If you're listening to the music while you're fighting an enemy and they attack you, they beat your ass to the rhythm.
They
oh
do.
yeah, yeah,
They
it's
do.
time, it's music time. Yeah, it's like dun, 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 dun,
They
dun,
will beat your ass to the rhythm of the song.
I'm like, oh, come on, man,
Yeah.
this ain't right.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it may not be true. It may not actually happen, but from my perception, they get the critical hits on the downbeat.
Oh,
I've never noticed that.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that out.
At that
man.
point, I'd be sweating too hard.
Like, oh,
Like,
my
look,
goodness.
I'm hoping this attack land on the upbeat. Don't let it hit the note. Don't let it hit the downbeat. Let it hit on the 1, not 2.
But yeah, like and I know the Souls people are gonna be upset when I say this. Y'all game ain't the hardest game ever played. I'm sorry, dude. It's just not.
It's really not.
It
Don't
was
even
never.
get me started.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on Souls games. That'll be a
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
This whole like
But-
another hour of review. But
Yeah.
What From Software did was take all the tropes from older games and just put them in a newer game.
basically. And
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is correct. Tokyo Mirage Sessions you're gonna learn today.
You're gonna
Yep.
learn today.
Uh-huh. Go in there under level thinking you bad. Go.
Oh, Radiant Historia, yes.
Yeah,
Radiant
yeah.
Historia is dope. It is
Yeah.
a banger.
Yeah, it is one. Like
Appreciate
Atlas, I agree, TJ. Atlas, you could just put their whole resume together and just be like, huh.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Just Atlas. Just push
Yeah.
it out there. All right, we're
Just
done.
throw the logo on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he's one of my favorites. So it's like,
Yeah, and I will say this: like all the games from Atlas that I have played have all had banging soundtracks. All of them.
All of them.
Like
Atlas
they
is
have been.
they're
one
good
miss.
for that. Atlas is one of those companies that's just good for that. Like it's kind of just expected. Like if they were to drop a game with bad music, everybody be like, "What?
Yeah, like when
Like,
this
what is-
happened?
Like what is
That's
this?
the thing.
Are you sure
Like,
this is Atlas?"
that's the thing. Their music is so on point most of the time, like or all the time, that if it did happen, that's when people would be confused. They'd be like, "What?"
That's when people will actually pay attention because like nobody really brings up Atlas when it comes to video game music because it's just expected at that point.
It's too consistent.
It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what we expect. That's what is supposed to happen. So
Yeah. Which is the next company we're about to get to, the one that everybody been asking us about.
oh boy.
Now I will say this.
Yeah.
I will
Which
say
game we
this.
starting off with?
Well, we're gonna have to start off with the main mascot of mascots, that Italian plumber that had a 30-second commercial at the Super Bowl that had everybody trying to call that number for real.
Oh, man.
So Koji Kondo, first of all, is that dude. Hands down, Koji Kondo is that dude.
Yep.
That's it. He's the dude. He's just that guy. The themes he's created, whether it's Super Mario Brothers, and of course my favorite game, Legend of Zelda, which
Yes.
they don't
Like,
use.
okay, we gotta hold on. Yeah, wait. Let's say that for the end, man. You can't, my name is Master.
Listen.
My channel's called Master Sword Music for a reason, man.
All right. I'm thinking Zelda's going to be last, but Metroid needs to be right before Zelda.
Yeah, Metroid's going right before Zelda. Yeah, Metroid is
Okay.
going right before Zelda.
So I'm gonna try to behave myself and talk about everything else besides Zelda because that's all I ever talk about. So we're gonna okay.
We're gonna be all right. But
Mario.
yeah, we're gonna start with Mario, and we're gonna go through the main ones like Mario,
course.
Fox, all of them, Star Fox,
Yeah.
Kirby.
So when it comes to Mario has the most iconic theme of all time when it comes to video games. You don't even have to be a gamer or play video games to know the Mario Brothers theme. That's how iconic that song is. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
it just is what it is. Duh, 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 duh,
everybody
duh.
knows it.
You know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, you know what it is. Like, you can hate all you want to, but it is the most iconic piece of music in just media, period.
Yeah.
Like, not even just in video games. Like you can play that to somebody who's never played a video game, and they will probably know what it is.
Yeah,
I would even go as far.
Italian plumber to show up.
I would even go as far to say the first level theme from every Mario game is iconic enough to be recognized.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, especially the 2D ones. Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
It just is what it is, and they continued that legacy for years. Because Odyssey,
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Was that all Koji Kondo, or did he break that one up? Because if that was all Koji Kondo, that
was Koji.
That man deserved a damn raise.
It was Koji.
I'm like,
he did his thing once again.
I'm like, yeah, because that was, especially when you get the New Donk City.
Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. We on the same page.
Yeah.
That one stage where they just go all out on that theme for Odyssey.
And especially when they ended with the whole with Pauline singing
while
you're trying to do the little 8-bit HD stuff, which they need to do that again, because I actually like the 8-bit HD levels. I like that. That's actually kind of dope. That's pretty dope.
That was real cool.
That
Mario Galaxy, J2 already said it, but Mario Galaxy, both 1 and 2.
But there was one thing about that Super Mario Odyssey before we get to Galaxy, the Samurai stage.
Yes. Facts.
The Samurai stage in New Donk City. I'm like, Koji, man, why are you doing this, man? Release that soundtrack. So now Super Mario Galaxy, bruh, that just had like head bopping music. You wind up bopping your head to that.
It's like
without even realizing it.
Like
3D World, like so I'm saying, I can't think of a Mario game that has bad music.
They might not have. It doesn't have bad music, but they have like tracks.
Some are just better than others. Some are more memorable than others. But like, I can't think of a game where I'm just like, ugh, what is this?
Yeah.
So when you consider Sonic Mario's rival, this is where Sonic actually rivals Mario better than actual games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consistency on that.
Yeah, that music. Now that's the one thing I'll give to that music on Sonic and music on Mario. I'm like, okay, okay. Okay.
Facts.
Yeah. Now, Star Fox.
There is no bad Star Fox theme.
Nope.
There is not one.
Nope. There is one soundtrack that I think is better than the other ones, though. That's Dinosaur Planet. That's Adventures on Dinosaur Planet.
Yeah, that's understandable though. But there is not one bad one. That's all I'm saying.
No, not at all.
Even
the opening for 64 for Star Fox 64, like
that sounds like Star Wars music, like
they knew what they were doing. That's pretty much what Star Fox is. Like, let's just keep it real. They knew what they was doing with that. Like, we're gonna make this Star Fox is the Nintendo Star Wars. Like, let's just go.
With furries.
Yeah. We just turned everybody to animals. Because if Fox McCloud isn't a freaking Jedi, like, come on.
I mean, he's close enough. He's a Jedi. He's a cocky Jedi.
Yeah.
That's how I look at him.
All right, guys, hold on 1 second. There's something we got to do. Hi, Vicky.
Yo, Debo.
What up?
Okay, now back to it. So,
if since we talked about Star Fox, F-Zero.
Oh yeah.
Now, here's the thing with F-Zero.
F-Zero music is banging.
F-Zero is once again workout music.
It truly is.
I mean, listen, you could take F-Zero's music and put it in a fighting game, and I bet you it would still match. A fighting game or a beat 'em up, and it would still work.
But I will say this: do not play that soundtrack while driving. You will speed. So,
especially not Big Blue.
Especially if you're on the interstate.
Look, only time you can do it is if you're on the highway.
Yeah.
You're on the highway, go for it.
Yeah.
Big Blue or Firefield.
Big Blue. It's my favorite.
Big Blue or Firefield while you're on the highway, go for it.
But yeah, all right, well, the easier F-Zero for people that was just pissed off at F-Zero, Extreme G. Because I'll put it like this. I like the N64 soundtrack over 2. But that was because I think 2, some of the tracks, and maybe it was just me, but some of the tracks in 2 just weren't hitting like the first one. Like the first one, on 64 just was like, it was kind of like they knew they was up against like F-Zero, so they wanted to have a good showing, kind of. So the soundtrack was just good. It was just great, in my opinion.
It just is what it is. It's a banger.
Yeah. So that's the other one. Like Extreme G, that was another good one. That's a good racer. So we took care of Donkey Kong.
I was actually going to say Diddy Kong Racing because nobody really talks about that soundtrack. That's actually
Diddy Kong
pretty
Racing. Oh my god.
Yeah. We're getting there, Wilton. We're getting there.
It's a slow. We're gonna do a slow burn on this one, guys. Slow burn.
But look, there's a reason that's at the back end of the
general.
Now,
Diddy Kong Racing is,
especially
and I have such a strong opinion on Diddy Kong Racing that people would not like me for, but Diddy Kong Racing was actually a better game than Mario Kart 64.
Oh no, I agree with you.
It was.
I agree with you.
It was. I mean, ain't that one of the reasons why Miyamoto got a little bit upset?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry, but when Diddy Kong Racing had 3 different types of vehicles you could race in, and you could race those vehicles against each other for skill tests,
boss battles, a story mode, like,
and cheats.
But the real question is, why haven't we got a sequel?
Oh my god!
Because somebody was salty about that game being better than Mario Kart.
Yeah, somebody got in their feelings. They got
ain't no goddamn way. Ain't no way you gonna make a racer that's better than ours. Yes, we did, man.
All right, bet you ain't gonna never get on another.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
Like, that was the end. That was the beginning and the end.
But I will say this: that's why you got Double Dash.
Yeah.
They up the ante on Double Dash. They're like, okay, we're never getting embarrassed on our console again.
Nope.
The only thing that Mario Kart is missing is a damn story mode now.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Mario Kart 9, we're gonna have a story mode going all over real places in the world because for some reason we got Paris, Berlin. The Berlin track, I would say the Berlin track is
the Berlin track is dope. The Berlin
track is dope.
That one's dope. But since we talk about Kongs, of course, the Donkey Kong Country series, like
all that music is good.
Aquatic Ambience.
Yes.
Was it the Bramble one? I keep forgetting. Sticker Bush something. Can't think of the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One with all the bees on it.
Yeah.
That
hellhole of a level. That hellhole of a level.
Yes. That's why they knew. They said we're gonna put some of our best music on this stage. So because you're gonna be here for a while, so we gotta have something banging to listen to.
We don't want you. Look, we don't need everything to frustrate you.
Okay, somebody just brought up something. So all right, does Monoliths? Are we counting Monoliths off?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
All right, then yes, we can talk about Xenoblade because I am actually late to the Xenoblade train.
Really?
I did not start playing Xenoblade until Xenoblade 2 came out. I played Xenoblade 2 and I enjoyed it so much that when I heard about the remaster of the first one, I went back and played the first one on the remastered version and
blew you away.
I'm sorry. I apologize for being late to the game, but Xenoblade got the hits. So if Monolith Soft counts, then man, Xenoblade is definitely in there.
They definitely do.
Now,
they in there.
The thing with Xenoblade is okay. So I'll say this: Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Xenoblade Chronicles X are the best 2 soundtracks in my opinion.
Whew.
In my opinion,
Whew.
Xenoblade Chronicles X is just music to my ears.
I haven't had to have the honor of playing X yet. I got to do it.
Yeah, that game was just because it's massive, but it takes full control of what they were trying to do on the Wii U, and that's why you're not getting the Switch port. I don't understand how many times people got to explain this to people, but that game musically is just up here. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3, again, travesty that it did think of the Game Awards. Because that soundtrack, man, yeah.
Oh, somebody brought up Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem. Every game in the Fire Emblem series has pretty good soundtrack.
Crazy thing is I'm not even a big Fire Emblem fan. But
I mean,
I still respect the music though. The music
the,
is good.
that's why that's one thing I would tell people. Like, I'm not a fan of the Fire Emblem series, but I love the lore and I love the music, and I love reading about it. But I don't like that. I don't like their combat system.
You don't like the turn-based strategy system.
I don't
Tactical.
like the way
I
they
like
do it.
tactical RPGs. It's just I just never got into Fire Emblem. I don't know what it is. I just never got into it. But and people get mad at me because I be like, I love Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah, dude, Fire
Hey,
Emblem
look,
Warriors is dope. Like,
look,
here's
one
the
way or
thing
the other,
about
you supported the series.
here's the thing about the Warrior series, and this is why I both love and hate Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. They will take the tracks out the game, remix them, and they sound sometimes a little bit better because
Better than the originals.
Howard Warriors got a couple themes in there for Link that I'm like, y'all better put this in Tears of the Kingdom.
Age of Calamity.
Yeah.
Oh, Age of Calamity was
like when he gets the Master Sword in there, and they play the remix of the original theme.
The Ocarina. Oh my god!
Yeah, and they use that as Link's theme. I'm like, this better be in Tears of the Kingdom.
They nailed
Tears
it.
of the Kingdom.
They nailed it. Like they nailed it.
Even each of the champions themes are banging. So the thing about like that, and once again we're saving Zelda for last, but the Warriors games, they do a very good job of doing remixes. That's why I don't know if I can really add them because they're taking the original music, but they're just changing a couple things about it, making a remix because their game is strictly fighting. It's strictly what it is. So it's not, you're not getting no atmosphere. You ain't getting your atmosphere is get these beat these keeps and get to the boss. That's your atmosphere.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, and yes, Trinell, for everybody, and I think everybody knows this.
Smash Bros is doesn't count. It's cheat. That's a cheat code.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I love Smash Bros, but that's kind of the cheat code because they basically get to pull from everything. So they get everything. So it's like it's not fair. It's not fair because they get everything.
It's especially not fair if you count Ultimate with the number of the songs that are in that game alone.
Because they get everything. You get Metal Gear Solid music. You get Fire Emblem. You get Zelda. You get Sonic music. You get everybody we just talked about in one game.
And he gets some of it because Umatsu and Yoko came and redid some of their tracks for Smash.
Yeah. So they had some of the original composers for a lot of them.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what Voodoo Sakurai be doing and be like, what he got on people.
Kingdom Hearts music in freaking what? You get Kingdom Hearts music in this, like it's not fair.
Doesn't go music, which the Kingdom Hearts music don't go anywhere, by the way.
Nowhere. I don't know how he. I don't even know how he got Sora in the first place.
Disney got some strict licensing fees on that one too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they paid out the yin yang for that one.
Yeah.
They pulled out the wallet for that one just to get Sora and the music. I was like, all right, they got Sora. They not getting no music. Oh no, we getting the music.
Oh, they got 11 tracks in there.
Final Fantasy VII music.
Yeah.
Kirby music.
Now, the Final Fantasy VII music, I think that's because somebody probably owed Sakurai a favor.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like,
that man got secrets on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled that off. Like I can't even imagine the license because I have to deal with the license and stuff when I'm doing remixes or if I'm doing like samples and stuff like that. And I know what a nightmare it is, even at the level that I'm at. So at that level, the license, the music alone, not even the characters, just the music alone, the licensing for that. How did he pull that off?
Yeah, to get everything. Not only get the original, because like if you go on the Smash Brothers playlist, you get the original and the remix. Especially like the Final Fantasy stuff, it's original first, then remix. Original remix.
Every Banjo Kazooie music, like literally everything we were just talking about this whole podcast is in Smash.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not fair because they get it all. Like Smash wins when it comes to video game music. So I gotta throw it out. You gotta throw it out.
Well, if we don't out Smash, then I guess I'll nominate Kid Icarus. Especially Uprising.
Uprising
themes. Uprising is actually. I played that game just for the music, just because somebody said the music was banging. Play this game. All right, I'm gonna play it. Oh yeah, you was right.
Now, if that's a game I wouldn't mind seeing be remade and ported to the Switch.
Oh yeah,
That one,
definitely.
because that one I believe can be done. Xenoblade Chronicles X, no, but that one, yeah, I think that one can be done. So I
Oh,
wouldn't
well,
mind
Being
seeing
that
that.
that started out as a Wii game, yeah, it can be done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can be done.
it can definitely be done.
And since Nintendo subsidiaries count, then I guess we have to talk about Pokemon.
Yeah,
Pokemon music is
no,
not to be slept on.
no, it's not because I do love the
Those
Mewtwo
battle
theme.
themes, those battle themes
Yeah, the
ain't no
battle
joke.
theme, the battle theme, and the Mewtwo theme. The Mewtwo
Yes.
Yeah.
theme is
Oh my
probably my
god, Mewtwo's theme is, oh my god.
yeah, because Mewtwo theme make you think he about to kill you for real.
Yeah, like you like, oh, this is bad. Like whatever's happening is bad right now.
Especially when you watch that original
YouTube,
1999 movie where he killed all them humans in the first 5 minutes. Like,
where he literally killed Ash.
yeah,
Yeah,
twice.
he killed him. He literally died, and they had to bring him back to life. He died.
Yeah. After he was talking trash,
Yeah,
gonna turn his head around like he gonna do something.
Like, well, look, I'll give him. I'll give Ash that one thing. He had the biggest balls ever in that movie.
oh man, because he was really he got out of hand with that one.
Look, he was feeling himself that much. He really thought he was going to punch one of the most powerful beings on the planet, and it was going to do something.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I saw one shot at that cat. He straight one shot at that cat.
That's why Mewtwo killed him for the disrespect. He was like, man, fuck you.
Did you not see what I did the first 5 minutes of this movie? Did you not see what I did in the first 5 minutes of this movie? I killed a whole island full of scientists. You ain't nothing, little boy. Like, so,
But
yeah.
then he killed Ash and then felt bad about it. That's why Ash got brought back.
Yeah, that's all. I'm like, bruh. And it was at that point that Ash really understood the phrase "fuck around and find out."
Listen. We can qualify Ash as the first person to find out what.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So there was that. So all right, we got to talk about it. We had that time.
All right, so Metroid.
Yep.
Can I start this one off? Because I'm not the biggest Metroid head, but if we gonna go there, my favorite theme from the game from Super Metroid is the first section of is it Brinstar? The first part of Brinstar where you get in there with the plants and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
That shit draws you so, like, everything else is like calm and makes you hesitant, but that theme for some reason makes me want to go nuts in there and start blowing everything up.
I mean, Samus is the good guy version of Frieza. So
yeah, but I'm just saying,
that's a very accurate description.
It is, but you hear the other themes; they're all calm. They're kind of mono.
Yeah.
But then you hear that kicks in. It feels like full stereo gets kicked on when that song comes in. It's like, okay, this is where the serious shit starts.
Yeah.
That one is a banger. One of my favorites from Metroid is Kraid's theme.
Yeah.
The Kraid theme. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When that joint come on.
That's the most disgusting dragon I've ever seen in my life.
He's slob.
Yeah.
What?
Out of shape dragon.
Yeah, out of shape. How you an out of shape dragon?
Kraid is a whole slob.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread music is slept on. Metroid Dread's music is dope. I agree
Dread's
with you.
music is very good. But I think the reason why a lot of people don't really, because number one, let's keep it 100. The Metroid series is very niche. People claim to have played it, and we found this out with Dread. And I know a lot of y'all in the chat understand what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, we especially found this out with
a lot of people was claiming they was fans of the series, and then they played Dread and started complaining about this too hard. I'm like, wait a minute, you said you was a fan of this series. This ain't hard.
Nah, Dread is definitely not hard compared to some of the others.
Yeah, like this ain't hard. Like
I
don't know what you're doing.
I would venture to say that Fusion is harder than Dread.
Oh, yes. Fusion is definitely harder than Dread.
Yeah. So
Fusion kicked my tail.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I think like a lot of people didn't know that. So like and I was telling you guys earlier, like so when they shadow dropped Metroid Prime remastered, I'm seeing a lot of people that claim to be fans, they just not saying they playing this for the first time, and they was like, now the Prime series itself is it's a lot of atmospheric music until you get to 3. 3 has a mix of atmospheric and more upbeat because I would say 3 is more action oriented as opposed to the first 2 being more adventure oriented.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So the first 2 Metroid Prime games is more atmospheric. So like Phendrana Drifts in Prime. Yeah, Phendrana Drifts. When y'all get to that level in remaster, I know a lot of y'all probably got it. When y'all get to that level, trust me, like as soon as you step through that door, you're like this, and they do that camera pan around. That first time, you're like, yeah, this is tight. This is tight. So they have good music, but I think like the Prime series is more the atmospheric stuff. The 2D stuff like Other M and Dread and
Super
Fusion
Metroid.
Yeah, those are the more upbeat stuff.
Yeah, now Other M is one that definitely gets slept on.
Yeah, well, you know how I feel about Other M. That's one I love that game.
I really want them to remaster that.
That's the crazy thing about it. So finally, people, I said, okay, see, I'm home now. This is family right here. Everybody was talking so much trash about Other M, and I'm like, I played the game. I thought it was good.
That's how you know people haven't played it, because you ask them anything about the game, like, okay, how does this section go? You remember when this big monster appeared out of nowhere? You'll return back to here to break everything open. People are like, nah, what are you talking about? I'm like,
I love how you kind of mix the Prime and the 2D style. Like, I love how they like. I thought it was dope.
Like, and this is where I come into a problem, because they introduce stuff in Other M that I want in every Metroid game now. Like when she does the WWE AEW finishes, when she do like the bulldog choke into a blaster pole into the mouth.
Yeah,
like the finishers that they had her doing. I'm like, bruh, this game is awesome. Now I understand some people didn't like the fact that she talked, but I will go back and say this: there was a lot of people that was saying she needs to talk. Well, guess what? You're playing a battle game, and in Metroid, she's by herself. There's no AI in her suit. She ain't talking to nobody, so you're alone with your thoughts.
Who is she talking to? Like, exactly, who would you be talking? You would talk to herself?
So
weird.
So that's what they did, and people claimed that they didn't like it. But I'm like, that's what y'all kept saying.
That's what people asked for. That's the same reason that Link should never get a practical voice.
Yeah, unless he's gonna be surrounded by people the whole game. No, and I mean like traveling with him, because most time in the Zelda game you're by yourself.
Yeah,
you're by yourself. The vast majority, I would say, in every game you're by yourself. What? 85% of the time.
Yeah, 85 to 90% of the time, honestly.
Yeah. I'm like, even with Twilight Princess, with Midna being there, I'm like, yeah, you're still by yourself though, because she just shows up when she needs to show up. Other than that, you're pretty much by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, don't get and see. Okay, all right. Since we're talking, oh man, see, this is like I said, I'm called Master Sword Music for a reason. Like, all right, obviously, Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time.
Mine too.
Some of the best video game music that has ever been made in life. And like, I am like a super Zelda nerd. So like, did you know that in Breath of the Wild, they actually mention why he never talks?
Yep.
I thought that was the dopest thing Nintendo ever did. Like, it's lore that you can completely miss. But if you go to the Hyrule Castle and you find it's like a note from Zelda where she's talking about how her and Link have had conversations.
Yeah.
Like he can talk. He actually chooses not to.
Yeah. Like people actually really think he's a mute, and like he's not.
No, he chooses not to speak.
Like if you go back and read all the Champions' diaries, or he talks to Urbosa, he talks to Daruk, he talks to Mipha. Now he don't talk to Rivali because him and Rivali,
yeah, they ain't cool.
They ain't cool. But even with Zelda, when you're going through Breath of the Wild, the first half of that game, she is. I'm not gonna say the word. She's rude.
Yeah.
Damn, basically.
He's
basically just doing his job. Like I know a lot of people don't like he's protecting her. Well, that's his job. Like for instance, when the president's kids are out, guess what? They have Secret Service assigned to them. Guess what Link is? He's her knight. his job is if somebody come after her, she better get away. He better die.
Yeah.
That's his job.
I mean, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because I know people like to say like, oh well, he collapsed because he died.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
It's
Listen,
called the
listen.
Shrine of Resurrection.
Yeah,
You can't
Exactly.
resurrect something that isn't dead.
yeah.
It would be if he was not dead, it would be called the Shrine of Revival,
Yeah.
He
not resurrection.
Awakening.
he had went on to see the Lord,
Yeah.
as the old folks say.
Yeah.
So
And Janelle literally just hit all of my favorite tunes from the Zelda series. You just hit every last one of them.
I will say this.
Listen, Gerudo Valley is the best.
Gerudo Valley is
Gerudo Valley. I do like Dragon Roost Island.
Dragon Roost is my favorite, honestly.
There was a nerdcore rapper that did a freestyle to that, and I've been trying to find it. I guess they took it down. It was dope. But yeah, Gerudo Valley, Ocarina of Time.
That's a classic.
When that guitar hit, and then when that guitar hit, and you start.
The first thing you can think of is like Gerudo salsa classes where they trying to seduce men.
Hold up. Yeah.
Well,
I was like, oh, the Gerudo's a lad. No, let's go.
Hey, especially when you go to Breath of the Wild, and you find that classroom.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. I'm sorry, that was funny because these women are so masculine and so strong that they had to take classes to try to learn how to be soft.
Yeah. And
I mean, when your whole time forced to do it.
And just like with Mario, Zelda has one of the most iconic themes of all time. The main Legend of Zelda theme is one of those things where it's just like that is just burnt in your memory forever. Like like it's just
you hear it.
You know what time it is. It's time for adventure. We about to go out in this world and we about to go see some shit. Like, let's go.
Now I will say this: I do like Zelda's Lullaby.
Oh.
It's something about Zelda's Lullaby.
Oh my goodness!
I just like. That's why I'm like Ocarina of Time. I know a lot of people don't like Ocarina of Time like that, but I'm like, dude, Ocarina of Time had probably some of the best
music.
Yeah,
it's some of the most reused music. Like a lot of the music from Ocarina of Time is used and remixed in other Zelda games.
Yeah,
like
especially Twilight Princess.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, especially Twilight Princess.
Zelda's Lullaby is used so freaking much in Zelda. Like it was in Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
It was in Twilight Princess. Like they even put a little piece of it in the Breath of the Wild. Like, come on, man! Like.
So
and another cool thing about Zelda and music is how like I love when they do this. They even tie the music into the gameplay, like where you play music as part of the game. Like you have the ocarina, or you have the Wind Waker, or you have the harp. Yeah. Like Zelda music is the reason why I do what I do. Like the reason I'm called Master Sword Music is because I love Zelda and I love Zelda music. Like it's just. When I was coming up with the name for my channel, I was like, okay, I'm obviously the biggest Zelda fan of all time. So it had to be something Zelda related. I love the music. What is the most iconic thing? Is the Master Sword music. It just all came together. And it's just like Zelda music. I'm trying to behave myself because when it comes to Zelda, I nerd out so hard. Like Link to the Past has some of the best music I've ever heard. Like, oh my goodness. Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Wind Waker has bangers. Ocarina of Time has bangers. Like Twilight Princess has bangers. Skyward Sword has like Zelda is probably one of the most consistent music.
Well,
like
that's Koji Kondo. Koji Kondo, when it comes to Zelda, he brings his A game.
He don't play.
Yeah, like he really. I'm like, bro, because and he always does something with every game to make a new theme, like the Skyward Sword theme.
Oh my goodness!
Like so much so to the point, I love the Goddess's Ballad.
Yeah,
I use it on Smash. When I'm on the Skyward Sword, look, that's all I listen to on Smash.
Ballad of the Goddess is such, and it like weaves in Zelda's Lullaby, and it weaves in the main theme of it, like.
And it weaves it back out and comes back and does it again.
Yeah,
he weaves it in and out.
He did the same thing with Wind Waker with the I think it's the Hero's Ballad or something.
Yeah, Hero's Ballad. Yeah.
he does the same thing where it's like it has you hit some of those same notes from the original theme, and he just weaves it into it. It's like that dude knows how to make you be like, yeah, I'm playing as like when you're playing a Zelda game and you hear the music, I guess, and that's why people had such of a problem with Breath of the Wild, I guess, because they was like it wasn't traditional Zelda music, but I feel like they did what they needed to do to fit that game. Like, but yeah, I did too miss the classic themes and the classic stuff that they did. And I feel like in Tears of the Kingdom, they're probably going to bring it back. And I got a
I'm
strong feeling
hoping.
that music is going to come back real strong in this game. Because that was one of the biggest complaints about Breath of the Wild is that
Yeah,
they went for like an atmospheric approach, which made sense for me, made sense for the game. But
it
I get it. I
it
understand.
makes sense for the game, but the problem, especially, and here was my problem with it. I messed around and played Hyrule Warriors. And Koei Tecmo and
Ooh,
Team Ninja and Omega Force like, hey,
ooh.
y'all know all those themes you love? They in here.
Here's all of them. Here's
Yeah.
all of them. All
And
of them.
so yeah. Oh, and this like when
Mm,
you at the end of the
facts.
game, when he's just at
On the
that
L.
playing that organ, and you like, bruh, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, and this one.
Majora's Mask. Oh, and I love what they did with the once again, like I said, making music part of the gameplay. Like the cool trick where if you play the song of time backwards, it slows down time, or if you play each note twice, it speeds up time. Like
Mhm.
they always find something really cool to do with the music, and I love Zelda for that. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we gotta ask because we're about to get out of here because we're running a little over. Uh, so you brought up Tears of the Kingdom. We got that trailer in the last direct. Um, I am of the theory of this that Ganondorf isn't the villain. Demise is. I'm of the theory of that because of what they said in Breath of the Wild, like the key to save Hyrule was under Hyrule Castle. Ganon was under Hyrule Castle, and we
Mm,
know Demise and that sword breaking or kept losing power. Who was in that sword? Because Skyward Sword Link couldn't kill him. He couldn't kill him.
he absorbed him into the sword.
Yeah, he couldn't. He couldn't kill Demise.
You're
So
absolutely right. Because at the end, you see him hold the sword up, and then his essence like comes up and is drawn into the sword.
and that sword has never broke before in any of the other games. It's never broke. Now you may have had to wake it up, but it never broke and it never lost power once it got woke up. So
Mm,
I really don't think. I think that voice that we heard on the bridge that was saying, "Arise, my servants," eliminate everybody. Because Ganondorf never wanted to eliminate everybody. He wanted to rule over everybody.
true.
Demise don't give a damn. He want that Triforce. That's all he care about. If you know
Mm,
the
Well,
Lord to Skyward Sword, Demise
yeah, like
doesn't
that.
care.
He was just an agent of destruction. Like
Yeah.
he just wanted death
yep.
and destruction. Like that's he
So
was the pure embodiment of, and that's why they say that the Master Sword is the pure embodiment of like evil's bane or whatever.
yeah,
Because like literally, like that dude's purpose was just evil. Like
yeah,
he had no aspirations for anything. He just wanted to destroy anything and everything.
yeah.
And the Triforce
Yep.
was the means to the end. Like,
He
Yeah.
was Thanos.
yeah,
He was Thanos.
yeah, he's
Nah,
definitely
nah.
Thanos.
In this case, I think Demise would be worse than Thanos. At least Thanos only wanted to do half.
Yeah,
He
this
wants
dude was
everything.
saying like, if you ain't a demon or evil, you're dead.
Yeah, you did. If you're not with me, then you against me, straight up.
So
Either you working with me, or and even if you work with me, I still might kill you.
I still might kill you because you just I
If you
said
look,
decaf. I
if
said
you ain't with
decaf.
me, if you ain't with me enough, I might kill you.
Yeah,
Look, now I said I want that child right there to be smoldering and smoking. You don't do that.
you
Well, guess
did.
what? You won't be smoldering and smoke.
Like what he
Did
did to
I?
Garahim, it's like, come on, man. Like, give me your soul. Like, just I mean, like,
Like, first of all, I kind of laughed when that happened to Gear him just
yeah.
because, but
But Garahim deserved it because Garahim was, oh my god.
Gear him was wild.
I ain't even gonna lie though. Like as far as like an evil villain in a game, Garahim was. I ain't gonna lie. He was definitely a dude you wanted to hate.
Yeah,
He
they
did a good
made him
job
easy
of
to hate.
making you hate the villain.
Yeah,
That was
I
his whole
hated him.
purpose.
I wanted to fight him. I
yeah,
wanted to kill him. Like I was. So as a villain, they did a good job with Garahim because
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I don't want this dude here anymore.
yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. That's why I see a lot of like because And Nintendo, once again, just like they did with Breath of the Wild, we don't know jack about Tears of the Kingdom. We don't know jack.
Nothing.
Well, we can run several theories, but I do think that honestly, my main theory is that Demise comes back, and Ganondorf, Link, and Zelda all have to team up against them.
Ooh.
I'm still
get their pieces of the Triforce, because remember
they all use their pieces of the Triforce to defeat.
Because remember in Breath of the Wild, Zelda has the full Triforce. Link doesn't have his piece.
Yep.
They're gonna have to separate it back out.
Yep.
Because this game does follow from Ocarina, because they said it in the game. It's in that line of Ocarina, Twilight, Skyward Sword.
Mm-hmm.
So that Triforce should have been separated out. When you look at Link's hand, never has the.
Nope, he never had the Triforce ever.
He never had the Triforce in that game. So that's why I think like people keep talking about that STD hand he got, but like, dude, did you take that off a redead? What the hell? But I'm like, if what I'm thinking about is happening, I'm like, they're probably gonna have to get their pieces back.
For some reason, I think his arm is basically a version of the Sheikah slate.
Could be, but that's the one thing I love about this. Nobody knows jack.
We really don't. Everybody's just assuming
Yeah.
and guessing and trying to do, but we really don't. And I love it. And I love it that way. So when it's time to play it, I got something to look forward to. Like I cannot wait for Tears of the Kingdom. Like,
and yes, I'm taking that week off.
Yeah.
So
I already told my wife, I was like, look, baby, when this game come out, I'm gonna be having an affair with my Switch, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You and my Switch is gonna be real close for a long time once that game come out. So don't be mad at me, okay? I still love you, but
yeah, she gonna be playing when you ain't done. That's usually how it go. Now, Sultan, this is absolutely true. Giram is Zelda Goldust.
Yes, I like that. I like the person that said Demise was Galactus. Yeah. That's a better description for Demise.
Yeah, I would give you that.
I loved his lore point at the beginning of Skyward Sword, and I loved when he came and when he finally came out. Because at first you're like, okay, they hinted at this dude. I'm gonna beat the brakes off this. He comes out, you're like, I want my mama.
That dude is intimidating.
Yeah,
like when you see his true form, you're like, oh my god, like
what the heck? Like, can I go back to fight the big thing with the toes?
Yeah, man. Like, let's do that thing. Like, this dude his presence was ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's why I'm sitting there and I'm like, and there's so many ways they could go. Because me and Andre talk about this all the time. There's so many ways they could go with this. So many different paths they could take. But I did notice a couple things. We getting some enemies from Zelda 2 in there because they was in that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a couple of them. That 3-headed dragon Gleeok is in there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Getting, well, they called them Nopes in 2, but they're the little bat things. I don't know why they called them a Nope.
Nope.
I mean, I know why I'm calling it a Nope. I know why I'm calling it a Nope.
Freaked out by bats. That's why.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't want nothing to do with this.
Nah, I'm gone. Nah. So, I'm actually looking forward to that, and I just wanted to get like what your thoughts are on that, TJ.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What happened?
On like, what do you think we're gonna? I guess what do you hope that we're gonna get theme wise in Tears of the Kingdom?
Man, you guys kind of blew me off because like thinking about Demise coming back because I was in the camp that is Ganon. I was in the camp. But now you got me thinking about Demise. I'm like, that's very interesting.
And the other reason why I say that is because every time Nintendo drops a remaster, they do it for a reason. They don't just drop a remaster. Like Xenoblade, when Xenoblade got the Definitive Edition, it's because it ties into Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah. Because the new DLC for Xenoblade 3 basically involves 1 and 2. Yeah,
so it and a lot of that stuff in the game is little homages to 1, 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. So they don't just drop a remaster just to drop a remaster. So when they drop Skyward Sword, I'm like, why would they drop Skyward Sword and not Ocarina or Majora's Mask? That don't make any sense. Then I'm like, oh, Demise.
So I think that was one of the first things we said when we did the podcast after they announced it.
Yeah,
I was like, I got the feeling Demise is coming back.
So I'm saying I was in the Ganon camp originally, but now you guys, I would love to see. I would actually love to see Demise come back.
I would say it was Ganon if it wasn't for, remember the first trailer they showed where it
Hmm.
looked like Link and Zelda were looking for Ganon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't think that's what makes me think it's not him, because why would they be looking for him if he's the main bad guy?
yeah. You wouldn't look for
hmm,
him. And on top of
that's
that, they've
true.
been toying around with making Ganondorf anti-hero for a while. Ever since that speech in Wind Waker that he did, and you
Hmm.
found out that the Highlands ain't this race of like altruistic people. They'll, for
They
lack
kind of
of a
messed
better,
up.
they racist. A lot of the Highlands are racist as hell.
Yeah,
So you're like, oh, so he had a reason. It wasn't just he wanted because he just wanted to take. No, he actually had a reason. Then you go back and play Ocarina. You're like,
I'm about to say yeah.
oh,
It hinted at it in Ocarina too
yeah,
about how they were like kind of
they
like
were begging.
yeah.
They were begging, and the king was like, nah, why would I help y'all?
They was like
Stay
they
out
were
of it.
So
like living in the desert area, and then like they were like basically trying to get resources,
Yeah,
and the
yep.
king was basically like no.
yeah.
Mm.
So that's why I'm like, they've been toying around with that. And then there was one thing, and I know this probably doesn't count for anything. I just thought it was interesting. The subspace emissary in Brawl, when you realize that Ganondorf ain't dumb. If there's a bigger
Oh,
threat, he gonna team up with Zelda and Link to fight. He ain't stupid.
Yeah,
that moment was priceless. Ganondorf get broke out and freed, and he mad. He about to pick a fight with Link. Link like, oh no, hold up, not me this time. Look,
It was him. It was him.
mm,
he's like, nah, it's
that's
that thing right there, bro. We got to work on that.
And he turned around and like, all right, let's do it. Make sure his make
But
sure his travel speech is on point.
that's the
oh
one thing
man.
that I say. Even if Ganondorf hates their guts, he know they not gonna lie to him.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, hold on. Like, you for real? It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
nah.
him. It was that dude over there. All right. We'll deal with our problems later, but we gonna take care of that one first.
Yeah. So that's why that's the only reason why I'm thinking that there was another when they said that prophecy in Breath of the Wild, and they kept saying it in Breath of the Wild, which was odd to me. They don't really do that. And they kept saying it.
Nah.
And I'm like, okay, there's gotta be something to this whole up under Hyrule Castle. And then they showed the first trailer, like, why is Ganondorf up under the castle?
Mm,
Like, why was he down there?
that's a very interesting. One of my big theories too is that at some point that this story is going to tie in all the other timelines.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's going that route. It's
That's my
actually
big
going
like.
that
I
route.
feel like because I one of the things that they have not explained is how the Zora and the Rito exist in this universe.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be
Yeah.
separate.
Because the
Since one was
Rito,
supposed to evolve into the other.
yeah,
Yeah.
like in Wind Waker, the Zora evolved into the Rito.
Yep.
So like the Rito and the Zora never exist in the same universe, in the same timeline,
Except for
except in
this one.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm like that was the one that made me be like, how do
Yeah.
the Rito and the Zora exist in this timeline?
Yeah. So that's gonna be that's gonna be a good one.
I
It's
am.
gonna be a good
It's
one.
definitely my most anticipated game of the year, of course, of
Yeah.
course. Like I can't. I am in the Zelda fanboy, and you won't make me feel bad about it.
And I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I feel bad for other games coming out because y'all not getting played.
No,
When that game,
once that game come out, that's the only game I'm playing until I finish it.
yeah.
I'm not playing nothing else until I'm done with it.
Yeah, and when I'm done, then I'll go back to something else. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
Once I
Whatever I don't
started,
finish, yeah. Whatever I don't finish, I just have to come back to.
like, I'm sorry, pause. We're moving on.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll not get played, but yeah. So that's gonna do it for this episode of the Winging It podcast. Thank you once again, TJ, for joining us and reveling in some good times about music.
For sure, man. I had a good time, man.
Thank you, man. We're gonna have to have you back more often. So,
I am down for that.
Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
I mean, look, you're just gonna have to look out for stuff from me. I'm posting random stuff at the moment. I do have a couple theories and ideas I want to post. I'm working on them because Jay, you saw that picture about the the idea I have.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
So I'm going to do a video on that. I'm not going to tell anybody who has not seen it what that is. I will just say it's related to Metroid. That's all you're getting.
Yeah. yeah. All right, TJ, anything you want to pimp out?
Well, like I said, check out my music on Spotify. Check me out on YouTube. The big thing that I will say is that I just announced it pretty recently, but on February 30th, we will be releasing a new album that includes the entire Master Sword music family. So it's going to be a group album, and it is some of the best work that we have ever put out. Like, this album is going to really change everything that we've been doing. Like, we've been upgrading, we've been advancing, and this album is going to be the show and proof. So like, if you enjoy video games and you enjoy some good hip hop and R&B, then you should definitely come check me out. And February 30th, when this new album drops, I think you guys will be thoroughly impressed.
February. You mean March 30th?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is what I meant.
Wait a minute, because I'm like, that would be.
Yeah, my bad. It's been a long day. Okay.
So
I'll let you guys in on my day a little bit. Okay. My main computer for making music decided to die on me today.
Oh snap!
So I had to go out, and luckily my lovely wife was able to go out and find me another computer. So literally, as soon as I get off this podcast, I'll probably be working on setting up my new machine. But like, today has been a rough one. That's why I was struggling a little bit today, but it's all good. We back in business.
Yeah. So March 30th, that's gonna drop. So
March 30th,
calendars.
Master Sword Music is called Arcade 2.0 is the name of the album.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that.
Yep, we will be keeping an eye out, and of course, I will share it all out. You know how I do. So, for me, gonna have some gameplay up of Tales of Symphonia Remastered sometime next week.
Nice.
I had to get that game for the simple reason that I am a Tales junkie, and Symphonia is my favorite Tales of game. So,
let's go.
I went and got that one. So, there will be some gameplay of that. Also, I will jump back into Octopath Traveler because that releases on Friday, the full release. So we're gonna jump into that one probably Friday night. That's gonna be another let's do this quietly. So we'll do that then. And Saturday I'll probably do a live stream. Just don't know what of at the moment. But I am gonna try to set my live stream days for Friday and Saturday, just so to have some consistency there. So just be on the lookout for that. We will be back next Sunday, peeps. You know how we do. So thank you guys once again for joining. Thank you everybody in the chat for contributing. We really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, peeps.
Peace, everybody, and get them likes up.